everybody. Pastor Warren here. Welcome to another edition of Mondays Are for the Dogs. We're in a very beautiful spot here, just the other side of the Mississippi River into Dubuque, Iowa. And we're standing right next to a monument erected for Julian Dubuque's grave. And Julian Dubuque is the founder of Dubuque, Iowa, and was the first settler in Iowa itself. Julian is from French Canada in Quebec, is where he was born in 1700s, and so he made his way up here through the Mississippi River and met Native Americans, the Fox Indian tribe, and later met the daughter of the chief of the tribe, Peatsta, I think that's how you say that, is the chief's name, and he wanted to marry the chief's daughter, and so he was accepted and well revered, and asked the chief if he could have permission to mine in what is now called the Mines of Spain, and just kind of down in the area down there in the valley, to mine this out and make a living on it. And so the chief granted him the permission to do it. And this area was later formed as part of the Louisiana Purchase. And the governor of Louisiana granted Julian Dubuque ownership of this through a Spanish land grant. So he was kind of overseeing all of this area in the early American days. Well, things didn't go so well in the mining for Julian Dubuque. He would go each fall down to St. Louis and do some fur trading, and he owed a lot of money for what he was doing up here to another person. I can't remember their name, and so he couldn't pay it off. And so that person he owed money to thought, well, I'm just going to take the land grant. And well, the Fox Indian tribe had more to say on that. They said, hey, we never said he had ownership of this land. It's ours. And so you can't have this land. And they took it to the Supreme Court, and it was upheld that the Native Americans owned this area, the Fox Indians. Well, later, this has become one of the first cities of Iowa, obviously, and so there was a lot of firsts here, a lot of first church, first murder, first post office, all this, and it's in this most amazing, beautiful place, which the Lord has created down the Mississippi River, and we hope that you'll enjoy some of the views that we're seeing, and just kind of taken in, first of all, by God's creation here, through the powerful Mississippi and the surrounding beauty of the area, but also taken in by the story of how mankind, very different people, Native Americans and a French Canadian, found to work together with one another. They were vastly different, but they not only found to work well with one another, Julian and the chief's daughter, Peatsta, found love. And so we see great examples of differing kind of people finding love and loving their neighbor together. And I think in today's day and age, this is a great time to recall history of how people of different ethnicities not only worked together, but enjoyed one another and loved one another. And I think certainly God would be pleased with that, just as he's pleased with his creation in this part of the world, as a place where we can come and enjoy what God has done for us to enjoy in creation, but also to hear the story of how this area was settled based upon love of neighbor. So I just leave you with that today, my friends. Jesus was asked by a teacher of the law, Jesus, what are the greatest commandments? And he says, I tell you this, the first is this, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. Well, the predominant word there is love, straight from Jesus' mouth. And so maybe it's a lesson for us as we go back in history to even Jesus' time, where he said love matters most. We know how to love because God loved us first, so we can love one another. So I pray, friends, that in your day you will find ways to love the Lord your God with everything you have, and to love mankind, your neighbor, just as you love yourself. I hope you have a blessed day in the Lord. Whoa, they want to go way down there. We're not going down there, Copper. No, sir. We'll see you farther, Barkley. We'll see you farther down the trail, and hopefully not that far down. See you later. All right, slow. God bless your day.